Here we go. I'm here with Jax Forrest. Jax, winning your 4th Powerade title tonight. Just the 7th guy to ever do it. Talk about your experience wrestling the Powerade over the years and what it was like winning tonight's final. Pretty wild one.
Yeah, it was wild. It was crazy, but it was just, I remember back to my freshman year wrestling, Luke Lillidahl, and, he beat me at the Ironman. And so someone who lived in Canada named Liz Spotty, who passed away this summer, was like, hey, he's going to be at Powerade. He's like, you're going to go down to Oklahoma State, train with Coach Zoe, with Dayton, and then obviously I came back and won that match, and she was really close to me. So just winning this 4th one for her it's been awesome. And now going to Oklahoma State, it's full circle. And so I like to thank Powerade for just sparking that interest, and just I've obviously winning 4 times, being here starting with 4 years ago we barely had a team, to now last year we won. This year I was able to wrestle my brother, and so it's a lot of really good memories here in Canonsburg.
You mentioned wrestling with your brother. Watching you early on in the tournament, you're in the corner for your brother, cheering him on, and you're on deck, and like you're just really fired up. I see you get like kind of more invested into his matches than even your own. What's it like wrestling with your brother, getting an opportunity to do that?
Yeah, it's been so good. Without him, who knows? I might not even have been at McCourt this year. I might have went down there full time, but being able to spend this time with him, helping him grow, has helped me grow. I've been spending a lot of time with him, besides like being selfish and just worrying about my own success, and that means more to me. Winning 2013 over a guy who I could have pinned, should have tagged, something like that, but seeing him get a big win, seeing him get getting closer to achieving his goals, it's worth it. More trying to just help him be just as good or better than me is my goal.
Since the U23 World Championships, winning that back in October, had kind of a layoff, only 2 matches and dual meets coming into this tournament for a couple months. That's the first time I've really seen a big layoff like that for you over the years. What has that time been like, and how you've been spending it?
Obviously not spending it good enough. Someone, he's good. Obviously, he's scoring on me 13 points, but it's someone where I know if I'm fully dialed in, like what I'm going to be upcoming, and it's just, it's part of life. I get up, go 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and trying to make those steps more forward, and just getting better now, and just focus on myself. I had a break where I was helping my teammates a lot at Ironman and Beast, and now I'm ready, I'm full, I'm back, and excited to just go all in now instead of 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
The rumor mill around the wrestling world's kind of been talking about it the last couple months. What's really the plan moving forward? There's been talk of whether you're going to stay at Bishop McCourt, finish out your high school career, move on to Oklahoma State and enroll early. What are your plans for the future?
Yeah, so obviously, spending a lot of time with my family, talking to the coaches. I'm going to go down. I'm going down, next week, and gray shirting, red shirting. I'm deciding between those two, but I know I'm going down there. I'm going to be in the room, depending on if it's just RTC or if it's in the college room on the team. It's something that, I'm going to go down there, test the waters a little bit, see how I'm feeling, and then make a decision. But, whatever, regardless of what I do, I know it's for my best interest, and, I'm excited, and, gonna, hopefully look better than I did this past weekend. But that's why, my match it's been over for 20 minutes, and I've got my Texas coaching me, telling me head up. It's really amazing when you win a match by 7 points against the number 2, number 3 guy in the country, and you're looking at it as a really bad thing. So I got really good people, and I want to be the best in the NCAA regardless of when it is, and that's what I'm going to be pushing for.
You made the senior world team this summer in high school, just something pretty much unheard of prior to this year with you and PJ Duke doing it. How did that change kind of your perspective on high school wrestling, and maybe your thoughts to possibly be making the decision that you are now to move on to the next level here early on?
Yeah, it just shows me, I've only been wrestling freestyle for a little bit. I like folk style a lot more, but, it keeps me on my toes. I can't be wrestling sloppy like that, but, as crazy as it sounds, I see people talking about how I'm a freestyle wrestler. I'm a lot better freestyle, but no, I like folk style a lot more. I think I'm better at it. Obviously, I have my hiccups giving up points, but I do that in both styles. But yeah, I love folk style a lot more. And I know once I get in that college room, and they're really helping me, keeping my stance, scoring on bottom quicker, not giving up easy points, I know I'm going to be way better in folk style. And then, making those jumps, this summer I was a lot better in freestyle, and I want to make that jump, and I want to be a lot better in folk style. Then freestyle season come back, I'm like, all right, now I want to beat that. And then it's just to keep going till Olympics, till winning NCAAs, until I'm done, and then coaching and helping my brothers and my sons and down the road.
Man, that's awesome to hear. You got a lot to think about, Jax. I really much appreciate your time being able to put this out there. And I know it was a hard decision for you, but I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure for me and everybody else to watch you over the last few years in high school. And I'm happy that you're moving on and going to a good place.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a crazy ride. It's hitting me. I love these teammates, and the guys that obviously the mainstream guys, Bo, Melvin, Keegan, all those guys, and then even the guys who aren't. But they're so close to me. I'm so close to them. They help me so much, and I love them with all my heart. And I'd rather have those memories than go out and teching them. I'd rather have them winning by a couple points and then being here with me and just loving on me when I'm hurting with my hip and everything. But it means a lot.
All right, appreciate your time, Jax. Good luck at the next level, man.
Thank you.